Hello, friends. Uh, Admiral Ivanov here, back again with another video. Now, as a longtime player of Azure Lane, it is with great joy that I greet the devs and all the other players a happy third anniversary. Now, in case you're wondering why is a bear talking in the camera right now, I decided to walk the path and emulate those who had the prudence to add a layer of anonymity to their YouTube personas. Granted, I'm kind of late to the party and I don't have the capacity to use a 3D model or maybe a 2D model. So I just went analog and decided to go old school with some simple puppetry. Now, that aside, this video is more of well, a simple review based on my personal experiences with the game, especially now that we're entering another year of, I hope it counts as a success at this point. But truth be told, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, especially during the year one of the Chinese version of this game. But all that drama aside, let's just say that this game is impressive for what it is. Despite all the apparent flaws with a gacha style game, it is more friendly than what you'd expect from the typical gacha game, which the genre has really been having a bad rep, especially with all the unsavory general image that it has among gamers out there. And it's especially felt when the most popular, arguably the most popular game, which is Genshin Impact, really makes you burn through your wallet when you're trying to catch up with the gacha, with the latest pulls and all the banners. Now, in terms of Azurlane, the main thing that got me into it I wasn't really a gacha gamer or a mobile gamer when I started out in 2019. At that time, I used to have a gaming PC, but sadly, it had to retire, and I was stuck with my phone. So I decided to try out the game. What put it in my radar, what got me interested, wasn't the cringe ads or the, uh, albeit I admit that the tutorial videos or the folks who make those guide type videos were really helpful. What really drove my interest was the shit posting and the memes surrounding the game. I believe the first video that I ever watched that was related to Azur Lane was made by a YouTuber going by the name of Kito Senpai. And the title of the video he made that got me into Azur Lane was Azur Lane in a Nutshell, which was mostly filled with shit post content and after that and a torrent of videos like the meme reviews by Zoe Crimson, who went by who goes by a different name now, and there were also the guides made by the first guide type video I watched. I think was made by Kimo Cheese. I mean, at least that was the first guide video I encountered. The one about starter beginner guide for farming or something like that. And then there were those parody videos, like the one I forgot the name of who made it originally, and I think it was taken down. Some of the other versions of it was taken down. but there were music videos that parodied the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure opening animations, specifically the one for JoJo Part 2, Bloody Stream. There was a version of that where, with Azurlane characters, so they were spoofing JoJo. And a few crazy videos later, uh, well, I decided to try the game out, see if I liked it. And lo and behold, I did. uh, it's funny how the simple manner of adding RPG elements to make otherwise difficult genre more manageable really made it a hit for me. Of course, at that time, we didn't have all the quality of life improvements that we are currently happily using at the moment, especially the auto clear mode or the auto battle mode was as unreliable, which made me grind a lot manually before I got the idea of just sticking with maps that I was able to manage. The first grind map I abused a lot was 2-1, and then it went like that until I was able to get my first 100 level 120 ship, which was Hood, who was also the first ship that I owned back in the day. Now, in terms of graphics, it's your typical gacha game. The interface is menu heavy, and admittedly, that used to be a turn off for me. But and let me think. Another thing that made it, frankly, more palatable were the designs of the characters. It it knows its target audience, and what got me into it, I was indifferent to the character designs. I was more into the fact that it um, it resembled R type, side a rail shooter or something like that. And I was into that genre, especially because of Toho and also because of Ikaruga. And the mere fact that it made me feel as though I was any good at those games was a big deal. Given how those types of games were designed to be, for example, during the arcade era, those games were designed to be coin guzzlers. So the fact that the RPG elements really made it accessible to me, and I felt that the progress, especially when you really feel the difficulty gap increase, and then you have to work towards improving your ship or your team enough so that you'd be able to tackle that content, greatly resembled the experience I had with some of the MMOs I used to play back when I still had a gaming PC. Now, one game that I really played for a really long time was Ragnarok Online, and the feeling of entering an area as an under-equipped noob, having to run for your life, and then returning to that area after you gained enough equipment and levels really resonated with me. So, having the devs nail that experience in this game is another thing that I'm quite impressed with, and that's why I love and I stay even when I'm already quite well off in terms of the game. Now, I won't spoil the story, and the thing is, I barely read, but for the most part, I've heard and I've read uh, some of the story elements, the devs seem to care a lot about the plot of the story and not just the visual plot, quote unquote. On the matter of whether you can compare this with Arc Knights, because there seems to be some drama about this game and Arc Knights, and that Arc Knights is better or something like that. For me personally, as someone who does not like the tower defense genre too much, I'm not I'm not gonna reserve any judgment, whether it's in the way the devs approach the character designs or whether one gameplay is better than the other. I think that supporting one or the other is something that is good for the company as a whole. And these are people that I'd love to support, especially based on how they're treating their customers. Um, I can say that they are better than MiHoYo in that department at least, especially with how they handle the free to play versus whale gameplay. Heck, I am actually impressed enough that I'd love to try whaling it out in this game, but I am satisfied as is because I admit that I don't have enough resources for that. And future videos, maybe I'll try to share what I'd try to invest in if I ever do whale it out, go full whale for this game. Because, frankly speaking, I love the difference that the newer players have it better, literally, because of all the additional quality of life systems that were added by the devs. And it's really noob friendly, though some of the contents are locked in events that would be unlikely to be revisited, especially if we're talking about the collabs. But later on, since the war archives were added, I hope that some of the other events become accessible as well, so that newer players would be able to enjoy what we got and maybe catch up to the build collection percentage that is one of the perks or one of the things that would drive some of us, especially the collectiviles who really love to collect the ships. I hope as they add more ships, or I mean, they finally add Polaris events in the War Archives eventually, because I'm still missing, and add the following ships to the build pool. I think it's over here. I'm still missing Lil Sandy, Cleveland U, or Polaris Cleveland. I'm also, oops, sorry, missing most of it would be IJN Polaris units like the Yandere Duo. I, I think they're down here somewhere. Yeah, Akagi Polaris and Taiho Polaris. And I think that's all I have to say for the review. Um, to make it short, the pros of if you're not a player of Azurlane and you're into World War II warships, you're into cute character designs, sexy character designs, and you're into a customer friendly gacha experience, then you should definitely check it out. Cringe ads be damned. This game is worth a shot, especially now. If you're a noob, you're in for a great time because a lot of systems have improved the quality of life for this game in general. compared to when I started back in 2019. For example, one of the most important additions that they made to the game, in my opinion, would be making um, the healer ships, those ships that you have to hunt or grind for in map 2, accessible, very accessible. Like, for example, over here, it only requires you 300 guild tokens, so you could get a Shoho, who is really well. I don't think she's underrated. She's quite well appreciated by the player base, but you can also get Unicorn for 800 guild tokens, and that's already a few hours of grinding uh, taken off from the way we had to grind for the maps without drop those ships. There's also the guild shop is a godsend. So if you ever get into the game, just join a guild. Well, preferably in a very active one would be great. Another thing that was added that we didn't have in the past uh, were the core shop items and the expanded PvP rewards, especially the ships that you get from there exclusively. And well, that's all I have to say on this game. I give it a great well. I gave it my seal of approval. I really love this game, and I hope that it continues to survive and thrive, and that more players come to play. And for the devs to stay safe, stay happy, along with all the players that I play with. Well, that's it for now. Uh, Admiral Avon Hoove from the Aurora server signing out. And well, that's it. Bye bye.